Yeah, I'm good. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. It's SPX 2019. My name is Joe.
I'm Rusty.
And with us today,
Micah Myers.
Micah.
Myers.
What's going on, man?
Not much. Just try not to sweat to death and go around and stand some comics. So that's cool.
That's the way to live life. It's perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, those are the two tenets of life. Not sweat to death, buy comics.
That's it.
Yeah.
Everything else is gravy.
Yeah. Try not to.
Go ahead and take a look.
It's hard enough being the big guy. You don't want to be the sweaty big guy. So there's that.
Brother, that's my life.
It
They hunt me for those
Constant.
reasons.
Yes.
I am a sweaty big man.
Yeah, that's a good thing about working at home. You can always control the weather.
Yeah. Have as many fans on you as you want.
Yeah, that's right. And there was one point I got a knock on the door from the fire department. There was a torrential flood. Like there was literally water coming up to our door. I had no idea. I don't ever check the weather because I don't ever go outside. Why do I need to?
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Now, you say that you never have to go outside. Why is that? You work at home, right?
I work at home because I am a comic book creator. I'm a comic book letterer mainly, but I do some writing very occasionally, but mostly lettering.
So now from our digital friendship, one thing I know is you work on a ton of things.
Yes. Oh God, yes. I don't want to have a real job, so I take every job that I'm offered. If it offers money, I'm probably doing it. Whether if it's going to get printed at Kinko's or whether it's going to be published by Image, I'll take it. If you're paying, I'm staying.
So it's like some people might be an open-minded consumer. Like, I just want to buy a book that I is interested in. I don't care if it's black and white or if it's color. And you're like, I just want to work on a book that pays.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's highbrow, lowbrow. As long as it has letters.
As long as there's not anything offensive.
Oh, well,
in it,
yeah.
That's fine by me. I mean, I don't think I've ever run into anything like that, thankfully.
Well, I guess I was thinking, like, it's not like you're saying, oh, that's not a big enough project for me. You're only printing it for yourself.
No, yeah, that's fine. But if they're gonna give me money, I'll. Because I also with lettering, when you're an artist, you're taking on something for a month.
Yeah.
I mean, with lettering, I can do a whole 20-page book in a day if I rush.
Right.
Usually I kind of do a little more, more like a day and a half or so. But and then I can go to the next thing. So I don't have to have a lot of time commitment.
Yeah.
So I can be a little less picky with taking jobs and everything.
Do you find that having so many projects has really made you accelerate better at your tasks? Because not just that you have a lot of work, but probably a lot of different style of work that you're trying to work with.
So yeah,
you're lettering different kinds of books.
Yes,
you may be adjusting what you're doing within a book.
Yeah. It does have to. You have to look at everything and decide, kind of what kind of font you're going to use, what kind of style of balloons. There's a lot of different things you can do, and sometimes going back and forth. I have to keep a notebook of remember what I did for certle books.
Right.
Oh, yeah, with so many different projects.
Yeah, because there's things like somebody will be like, hey, just remember when you're doing this book, I want you to, bleep out the swear words or something. And then, the next issue, which will be a couple of months after that, will come around, and I've forgotten that.
You're right.
You've done 30
hey,
other books
hey,
since then.
you forgot to bleep out all this stuff. Like, well, you got to remind me.
You've got a style guide for each book.
Yeah, I don't mind going back. Going out and bleeping the cuss words isn't that big a deal. But it's like I got to get a little reminder. I got to write down things. So yeah, sometimes there is I do run into problems like that.
So you also do writing?
Very, very occasionally. I have a comic book series called The Disasters that I think it was 3 years ago. I had a Kickstarter, but then it was successful, but then there was all kinds of problems with the artist. His dad died, and there's just delays because I got in way over my head. Mm-hmm. So it took, I think, 2 years to get everything out and to everybody. Which hopefully didn't sour too many people. I'm trying to get it going again, make a whole new #1 maybe, or I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what the next move is for it, because I do want to continue doing it, but a lot of time has passed. But I also have an anthology, a wrestling anthology,
Nice.
Called Kayfabe that I do some writing in it. Mostly I just kind of corral everybody and organize it all with. Marta, Tanrakulu, I think it's how you say her last name. I'm not 100% sure. I'm sorry.
Well, it's because you work with everybody digitally.
Yeah, but
Right.
it is she has a really long last name, and I mean, it's probably a super simple name to pronounce if you look at it.
Right.
And I'm probably just butchering it horribly because I'm a horrible person. But yeah, and with a bunch of other people that like comic books and like wrestling, we make an anthology with comic book with wrestling stories. Good Lord, I can't think.
Now, I enjoy wrestling. This man here, though,
Love wrestling.
Oh yes,
huge wrestling fan.
I got some of them with me. I'll give you some when we're done.
How did you find it? Because I understand, growing up as a fan of comics, we've made comics for a number of years. But how did you find yourself specifically going towards lettering? Like, what was it, a way to participate, or was something about that task that interested you?
I was in school because since high school, which was 2002, I've had about 10 different careers because I couldn't decide what I was going to do. I went to college to be a youth pastor, and that didn't work out. I've done work as a youth pastor. I mean, I worked in a paint store. I worked construction and different fields. And the most recent thing I had was working at a group home for about 6 years. And while I was doing that, I was going to school for graphic design. And a lot of graphic design, like with typography and all that stuff, also applies a lot to the lettering. And I don't know how it just clicked in my head to try the lettering from the graphic design, but I did, and I started practicing it, trying to practice it every day, and eventually the group home job, I got laid off one day out of the blue, so I was doing the lettering, getting a little bit of jobs here and there, and my wife was in nursing school. She got done with nursing school, and I asked her, if I could try and do the lettering as a job instead of, because I was, of course, during that time I was trying to find any kind of job I could.
Right.
Like I found a couple of part-time jobs, but so I tried the lettering and it worked out. I mean, I just got a job after job, and I didn't have to go back to doing anything real.
That's awesome.
So I don't know how, but I mean, the graphic design definitely. I never even finished the degree, so I have an almost associate degree in graphic design. So hopefully I don't ever have to go to work again, an actual job, because my resume is going to look spotty and not very impressive.
Well, the thing is, though, maybe you don't have the degree, but at least you have the tons and tons of work experience at this point.
Yeah, the experience.
That is almost as valuable sometimes, because you'd be like, maybe I didn't finish the degree, but since then, look at all the things I've made.
Yeah, 6 years of comic book experience.
Yeah. Instead of like the one piece of paper, you can show them the stack of comics and be like, look, this.
And because everybody respects comic books.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So that'll definitely help.
Walk into an office with a stack of comics. This is what I've done.
It's right up there with star athletes. They just can't get enough of comics. Now, in addition to working on tons of comics, one thing I picked up from just watching you online is you also exhibit at tons of shows, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, I do try to go to a lot of shows. I haven't been to that many shows this year, but I do like going to shows. I do like to. I mean, even if I don't make much money, a lot of times with shows, especially like Heroes, I'll make a lot of money after the show from the people I've met.
Right.
What lettering
awesome,
work.
Just networking.
Handing out cards and everything. Oh no!
That was exciting.
It's all right. It happens.
All right.
We're gonna
Yeah,
pause.
go ahead and pick it up if you can. I don't want you to. No, it happened. It's okay. It's quite
Excitement.
All right. It's very durable. Oh,
And this light's on fire.
Oh yeah. As soon as I say that.
Hello. How are you? I don't know why I'm doing it in the microphone.
Just force a habit at this point. Guys, that was a first. That was a first. Maybe we'll have people bump it. Maybe they stub a toe. That was the first time the light's gone all the way down.
Higher light. That was very exciting.
Guys, I hope it was exciting for you as it was for us.
You cannot. You are not involved.
So, where can people find out about your work online?
Twitter is at Micah Myers. Same thing with. Instagram is Micah_Myers because somebody snaked that from me. I usually get everything good because with a name like Micah Myers, it's kind of unique. Also MicahLettersComics.com. It has links to all of my social media, and also I have a store, Envy store, with books and a pen Comic Skaters a Hate Group pin that I made.
That pin is great.
I still have a few more left that you can buy for $5.
Nice. Get in there.
But yeah, I got some of the comps I get. I also put in Store MV Store just to see if I can drum up a little bit of sales. While
I mean, you worked on them.
Shows,
Yeah, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, in between shows, yeah. And a little bit of money here and there is always nice.
Now, before we let you go, would you like to answer a mystery question?
Sure, yeah.
All right, so this is the Mystery Machine of Mystery Questions, and it is filled with questions that we wrote at some point before now, and we forget what's in there. So let's find
So they're
out what
mysteries
question
for
you're
all
going
of
to be
us.
asked.
Okay. Wheel of Morality, turn. Oh, no.
There we go.
Oh, no.
Micah, what is your question?
Are you ever going to do that thing?
Brother, we've been
Man.
wondering for days, if not weeks. When are you going to get around to doing that thing?
Well, you know, that thing, I'm not as young as I used to be. And that thing, it's hard on the back.
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
It's not an easy thing.
I got, I've been hitting the elliptical and getting back into fighting shape, and that thing will be done soon.
Whoa.
Whoa.
You
Watch
hear
out,
a
that
thing,
thing.
it's coming. He's going to do ya, and you're going to go down.
Look out.
Brother, he's going down. Well, thank you so much for sitting with us, Micah.
Well, thank you all for having me.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Have a good time at the show.
I will try.